Spring 1917, the United States is at war, and while falling back in the Pacific, they're gathering steam and had a very close call in Normandy. Thank you, Brian. I do believe that we are making the game better every day. Also, to note, it helps if you read the rules that you wrote. Many years ago, we determined which locations had to be garrisoned, and the Americas, North, Central, South, do not have to be garrisoned if they are aligned. Number of reasons we chose to do that. They're mostly independent countries, while those around the world in other locations, Africa and Asia, tend to be colonies. So, I've been returned to the 4 IPP. I took off last turn, and I am spending 25, 35, 45, 49 IPP. I'm going to start a dreadnought, put it at stage 4. I have an infantry and a militia lend-lease. Militia is going to China. That's actually an infantry upgrade. We'll sort that out. I am laying a mine for 2. That really opened a can of worms, but I'm glad we've been able to work through the rules on that. I am speed building for 4 IPP, a dockyard in the Marshalls, and upgrading the port. I looked all around, could not find where that was possibly prohibited. So I'm upgrading the port there too. Completing the 2 battle cruisers for full price, building 2 TBDs at a reduced price, 3 infantry, and an artillery. The infantry and artillery is going to go down at my Brazil location. Have multiple attacks too. And some of my movement is dependent upon this roll. I am rolling depth charges, hydrophones, convoy system, improved factories, and improved logistics. I would like to have improved logistics. Would give me a lot of flexibility. So, oh, and there's going to be 2, one of which is free, but there's 2 diplomacy rolls. So, okay, I got blue. I got improved logistics. That is crazy. Red convoy systems is a go. So that's 2. So now I have Q ships also. Japan, should you need to know that. Additionally, I will, I'm going to start first. I'm going to roll for Spain. Both of these I needed 2. Spain gets an 8. And Netherlands gets a 12. So that didn't work itself out. We'll come back for other things. Lots of activity, some of which I was going to do last time, but I've got a lot of movement here, a few combat moves out here in the Pacific. I'm going to remember to put the seaplane on map and hit those subs this time. I'm gonna try and take care of things down here, as well as I'm conducting a combat move against Chile. Kind of risky, but such is life. Let's start with things up here against Japan. So I have a submarine, and P-45 is going to move to, I'm sorry, P-15. It's going to move to P-14 and lay the mine there. So that's a combat move into P-14, placing a mine. Additionally, having a submarine leaving the Marshall Islands, which is P-45, is going to move 1 space into P34 and with the mine conduct a raid. So let's do that first. The mine there raids at a 0, blue is the US. So that did not work itself out. And then the submarine at a +2, that did not work itself out either. Wow, okay. And then the mine in P33 raids at a 0. Okay, a little better, that's a 1. So we'll be taking 1 off that line. And then a second submarine departing the Marshall Islands, moving 2 spaces to P32. And I'll focus back over there in a moment. And it raids at a +2. So let's see what it does. 3, 4, so 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 over, it's a 3 versus 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's 5 IPP, which is the max damage that we can do on the Japanese line. I believe that is all of the convoy rating. Let's go back over here, take a quick look at that. The first submarine that moved, the second submarine that moved to P32, and of course the very first submarine that moved, P14, dropping a mine, US mine. I left a submarine back, and since we're on this side, I'm going to non-combat the recon patrol blimp into that sea zone to conduct basically its combat role. This submarine from P25 is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to P36. The transport and TBD are going to non-combat move to P45. The second transport, and this is where strategic naval move getting a +1 will come in very handy, because I have a 4. I start with 4 strategic naval move. I'm going to add 1 with improved logistics. So I'm going to speed move this transport to the port in Marshall Islands with the infantry and the Marine, bringing that total to 2 transports, a battle cruiser, a damaged dread, 2 TBDs with a commander out at sea, recon patrol blimp, a submarine. There's 4 Marines, 2 regular infantry on the Marshall Islands, and of course, let me just go ahead and place the dockyard, and I upgraded the port. So that is quite a powerful little island there. I'm sure the Japanese are coveting that, but that should enable operations from this point on. Okay, all right, the next move I'd like to make, I've set up 2 different battles here. The first battle I would like to do is actually the one on the lower half, which is the attack against the Chile. I have 3 damaged dread, 2 pre-dreads that are going to have a naval bombardment, a Marine who is not terrain effective, and then 3 infantry who are, against his militia. So let's see what that looks like. Lots of crazy rolling that has happened. So really, I've got to avoid losing infantry. So this is really high risk, because that could impact my score. And there's a 1. That's all I needed. I don't have to do anything else. That's exactly what I needed. So that puts me into possession of Chile, which I will I'll move the camera over there in a bit, give the full disposition. Drop a roundel. Patagonia would have been a simpler attack, but it would have put me in better range of many of his combat units. So that is a +1 for the United States and -1 for the Germans. I'm going to do an attrition roll against the mass that he has there in Pampas from, I'm Pampas, he's in Gran Chaco, I think. He does not have counter batteries, so. And that is a 1. So Brian, you've got a lot of infantry there. I assume you're not going to take the artillery off, so that'll reduce you by 1 infantry. All right. I don't know where all that's coming from. Okay, let me show you the remainder of the U.S. non-combat. So, first of all, so remaining speed move for these 2 transports, I assume they can move. I don't know. I just realized that maybe they can't, because there's still a submarine out here. Oh, and I still have a combat over there in the Mediterranean that I almost forgot again. Hate that when I get a brain cramp. So let's go ahead and roll out the seaplane. Seaplane at a 3 against the 2 submarines in M8. That's a 12. The American seaplane will stay in M8 on Maritime Air Patrol. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so my brilliant idea, no matter what I do, I'd have to come out of port and face that submarine. So I'm gonna have to ask, you know, he's gonna come into port and raid it again. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna roll it. It's a risk. But I need to get back to, my speed move is going to take me to New York. So let's see what Brian does. Brian rolls a 6. So I move back to the port of New York. Very good. All right. So remaining non-combat moves, I did those things. So the infantry from Amazonas is going to go down to Pampas. The artillery is going to come forward. The Colonial is going to come forward to Pampas. So That'll put me at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 infantry, a colonial, 2 artillery, and a cavalry in Pampas. I have 4 infantry in the Marine here. And if you look from Alpha 49, this is how I hit Chile. Talk about, you know, squeaking in. That must have really annoyed him. But that's what I did. And then the Lend-Lease delivery of the artillery as requested by the French into southern France. Okay. I believe that is it for the actual Americans. Just looking around. Yep. All right, so let's do an attack. Got the revolutionaries. I start with an artillery at a 3. That's a 1. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's going to remove a militia. I'm just going to take it from the dice here. I have 3 cavalry and an infantry that's been upgunned to a 2. And that's all misses. And the remaining 5 infantry, all misses. He has 3 infantry at a 4 and a militia. Okay, so 12, 7, 9, 7, no good. I'm going to go around 2. That's 1 hit. Oh, and the artillery. Roll in the mix here. So just 1 hit. He has the 4 still until after this. He gets 1, 2 hits, 10, 2, 4, 9. So he will lose a militia. I will lose 2 infantry. So last round. 1, 2, 1 with the artillery, 1 infantry hit, so that's 2. And of the 3 remaining, no, 5, 5, 9. 5, 5, 9. So he loses 2, so almost did it, almost did it. So he is down to 1 infantry in Chihuahua. And I am down 2 infantry. I'll take 1 from Western and 1 from Coahuila. I have my 3 cavalry. Just confirm 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 infantry and my artillery. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and do the recruitment here. No, that's no good. Would have been nice, but no good. Okay, and then to complete the American turn, if it seems like I'm going a little slower, oh, I gotta do my placement. Well, I'm right here, so I am. So that's a 7, 7, 41 plus 7, 48. 48. I am going slower because I made so many dramatic mistakes last time. So the upgrading an infantry in, what is that? The one in Shantung. So that'll go to an infantry in Shantung, which will be helpful. Placing the French infantry into southern France, placing I have to rely on the Americans. The Americans got, or the my allies have to do something about that Navy. Anyways, I am placing 2 TBDs and 2 battle cruisers off of San Francisco. I'm placing infantry artillery here into Rio and 2 infantry into New York. All right. As I continue to shuttle. All right. Lord willing, the Chinese are buying an infantry and a militia, and I say it that way because inevitably the cards tend to say something different. We're getting down to some of the last of the cards here. It's not going to be pretty. Okay, typical. All right, let's see if I can even read them well this time. All right, the first one, nationalists. -1 to all attack dice. That's very nice. Shanxi gets a militia. That's okay. I wasn't going to attack them anyway, so I'll put a militia in Shanxi. And lastly, Shanxi stole the money. That's beautiful. Okay. So, like I said, this is, oh well. Okay, I am attacking from, here's the thieves here, Shanxi, they got their militia. I'm attacking with an artillery and a cavalry, the 3 infantry from Shantung, the 2 cavalry and the artillery all into this one location here in Hopei in hopes of taking it. Yeah, we'll see. And it does have several impacts. So let's start with 2 artillery. He has 2 units there, and artillery in a mountain. So 2 artillery. I get 1 hit. He's going to get his artillery is a hit. So I will take off 1 infantry, and he will take off his artillery because that's just going to give him the ability to roll again. And then I have 1, 2, 3. I was kind of hoping some guys would retreat. I have 3 cavalry. And my 2 infantry are upgunned, so I have wait. Yeah, coming across a river knocks them down to a 2, to a 1, but then they have their artillery, so support. So we'll see. Okay. I should have rolled them separately. Should have rolled them separately. Nobody hit. All right. I'm going to roll again for the infantry if it's, and I'm going to do that to see who retreated. So highest numbers retreat. So the infantry got a 9 and a 7. The 3 cavalry, 9 and a 9. So an infantry and a cavalry retreats because it's only a fair way to do it. So an infantry and a cavalry retreats. He has a mountain infantry, defense at a 4, and it did not. So once again, I have 2 artillery at a 4. I have an artillery who retreats, but 1 hits. So remaining, I have, so let's start with 2 infantry, 1 retreats, and 2 cavalry, 1 retreats. So I got 1 of everything retreats. He has His mountain man hits on a 4, so that's going to hit one of those that does not retreat. So let me see if I can get this right. I take his mountain man off, which gets me Hope. So the Chinese do go up 1 to a 6, to a 6 IPP. I have 1 cavalry. I have an artillery that retreated. I'm going to leave it in Szechuan. I have a cavalry that retreats. I'm going to leave it in Szechuan. And I have an infantry that retreats. I'm going to leave it in Shantung. So that leaves here is the disposition. The infantry, artillery, and cavalry in Shenxi stay. I still have an artillery here. He did nothing. I have a Shantung infantry that fell back. I have a cavalry from German Shandong that fell back. I end up with an artillery, an infantry, and a cavalry. I lost a couple in the attack, 2 infantry in the attack. So, and now I own Hope, and so I'm going to do first I am going to roll for the I'm going to roll for the warlord to my north. I need a 2. Wow, that's it. That's a 1. That means this entire warlord just became part of the nationalists. 1, 2, 3 territories. I'll take care of that in a minute. That totals 2 IPP. So that is huge. That is significant. So that takes the Chinese up to 8 IPP. And that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 territories. Well, that's just an automatic infantry. I don't even know what I'm rolling. That is beautiful. So, I will place an infantry into Singhai with that recruitment. So this was recruitment. This was influence. I gained this warlord. Like I said, I'll straighten out all these units on my turn. And the -1 modifier, I believe I was still okay with all of the attacks here. If I need to, I'll go back and review. So then the warlord here in yellow has 5 IPP to spend. I'll let the Ottomans sort that out and report to us. Now, random events, align Greece and Siam. So Greece, Siam's going to go to Japan, and as an auto alignment, and then the Chinese entry. So we'll do both of those next into the summer of 1917. Japan collects, China collects their 8 IPP. Okay, let's do this last bit. Random events. Okay, the first, summer 1917 West, a 6. Pravda exposes the Sykes-Picot Agreement. This is kind of an interesting one, although it doesn't work in our favor. there will be 2 Ottoman infantry placed in the place units box, and Ottomans go 1 stage in defense in depth, which they've already got defense in depth. So essentially, the Russian newspapers there expose some of the secret agreements, and this one specifically, the Anglo-French Pact that proposed splitting up the Middle East to foreign control. You can see where that wouldn't necessarily make the Ottomans and really the Middle Eastern nations very happy. So 2 Ottoman infantry as the local nations rise up in protest. And then in the east, a 4. King's Land explosion. Add 2 IPP to the U.S. income. Basically, this is an explosion in New Jersey. It's, was believed to be sabotage, so I'll put 2 more IPP on the U.S. income. Basically, that is our protest or against the enemy by selling more war bonds or similar type thing. So interesting. So China will align to the Allies if they possess 14 territories. They do not. They're 2 territories shy. Through random events, a major power declares war on them, or the Chinese entry roll. So here's the Chinese entry roll. 1 to 10, they become allied. It's a 1. Okay. So China manpower labor adds to the Allies. No longer need to pay manpower when you build or upgrade a factory. All members move to stage 3 of improved factories technology. So that's the US, Britain, France, move to stage 3, improve factories. I've been rolling it all along, so why not? And Allied units may not enter China unless they're aligned to the nationalists. So, okay. That took an extended period of time, but I appreciate your patience. I think I made far fewer mistakes other than I wasn't immediately accounting for those nationalist rolls as I rolled them. I had enough hits that were in the 1-2 range, so, and it's a minimum of a 1 anyways when you get something like that. So I don't think, no harm, no foul there. If anybody notices something as we review back through the videos, please bring it to my attention. Other than that, a couple U.S. victories and U.S. movements in the Pacific. Enjoy your week.